Students explore properties with 13 hands-on activities and the Delta Science Reader. To make sense of the world, a child must develop the capacity to classify and sort. Because students love to explore things with their hands, free play with kit contents is the first step in every session. Students use their hands and eyes to classify and sort by the properties of color, size, shape, and texture. In this module, students learn that a property is a quality or trait that is characteristic of a person or object, and that a property can also be an effect that a material or substance has on another object, such as magnetism, or on one or more of the senses of the observer: sight, taste, hearing, smell, and touch. Students are also introduced to classification, which is the assignment of an object to a particular group or category based on one or more of its properties. Students then subgroup or sort a collection of objects according to the object's similar properties. During their investigations, students develop the ability to classify and sort gradually, first by one property, and then later by two or more properties at the same time. In the 13 hands-on activities, students work with balances and other equipment to compare and contrast objects by weight, buoyancy, magnetic attraction, and material composition. As they practice distinguishing and grouping objects, they also build two vital vocabulary skills: describing and explaining. Young students are usually more hands-on learners than verbal learners. Classification for these students is typically concrete. They can successfully classify objects when they can touch them. For these reasons, allow students to handle and manipulate the objects on their trays before the start of each activity. This time also provides an opportunity for students to indirectly learn and use the vocabulary of different properties, including size, shape, and color. In seeing that objects can be sorted in more than one way, students gain an invaluable awareness that problems can have many different, equally valid solutions. After each sorting activity, encourage students to explain the criteria they used to sort their objects. This understanding will make them better and more creative problem solvers. In the Delta Science Reader properties, students are introduced to the concept of matter and some of the properties that distinguish one object from another. Students read about the properties of solids, liquids, and gases, and also about how water can change. They observe that some objects sink while others float, and that some objects are magnetic while others are not magnetic. Finally, the Delta Science Reader describes how a geologist uses properties in her work, and encourages students to think about examples of properties in their everyday lives. For science background, reinforcement activities, curriculum connections, and information about the Delta Science Reader, please consult your DSM Teacher's Guide.